now. So this is kind of a new setup, but I'm actually working on making this my film room, which is also our guest room. So it is really bare. I plan to decorate it very soon, so just hang in there with me. Today I want to talk about marriage and what you can do to kind of like spark up that relationship again. So today I was watching, well, I was scrolling through Instagram as we usually do, and I came across So I came across the guy from Stomp the Yard. What's his name? Brian J. White. And he was on the Breakfast Club, and he was talking about how when people get married, those two people sometimes forget how to communicate. They forget how to talk and ask, what can I do better? Or what am I doing wrong if I'm doing anything wrong? Like, how can we make this relationship work better? Is there something that I'm not doing that I can be doing? Is there something that you need from me? And I think a lot of us are kind of scared to do that with our partner. But he brought up the idea is that when people go off and walk out on their marriage, that's what they're actually doing with other people, telling them what they're not getting from the relationship rather than talking to their spouse about it. And I was like, yeah, like, that's so true. I see a lot of that like in the world. Like, a lot of people just don't have the confidence or feel comfortable enough to just go to their spouse and say, like, what can we do? Like, what are we both doing wrong? What are we missing here? And to be honest, ever since my husband and I moved out here, we have not found time to just like be us as like a married couple, because it's been crazy with his work schedule, with 2 kids running around, with trying to like get settled and like find our place here. It's been so hard, and we both had like kind of this mini discussion the other day, like, I miss being with you. Like, I miss having those small intimate moments, and not intimacy as in physical, but like an actual emotional intimacy. Like, we've been missing that. I've been thinking of ways in which we can just like rekindle that spark. And of course, we have to start getting a schedule down for Landon for him to go to sleep early, because right now he is just like falling asleep. He's like the last one in the house to fall asleep, so that doesn't help our case. Landon, go out, please. Babe. That's my life, guys. That's my life. So I was thinking of ways in which we can like kind of rekindle that spark. And I was thinking like of going back to the things you guys used to do. When you and your partner, you and your spouse, you and your boyfriend or girlfriend, whoever it is, like, you have these memories. Like, remember back in the day when we used to just sit up and talk all night? Like, me and my husband have those things. We're like, remember we used to do this? And I was like, we should bring those back. I think one of the biggest things that can help a relationship to go back to its roots, to what you guys used to enjoy doing together, whether you stayed up all night sitting there talking, whether you guys used to watch movies or like binge shows. One of the things we used to do is we used to literally sit on the floor with a bottle of wine or 2, listen to like our favorite albums, make these random music videos. Literally, we made some random music videos, and we literally took all of our text message conversations that we've ever had, and we actually put it into a book. Cheesy, I know, but it's something we used to do, and we loved it. And it just like, I don't know, it brought us so much closer together. So I'm like, we need to do that. This weekend, I'm putting him to bed, and we're gonna sit up all night, and we're gonna listen to music, and we're gonna look back at all of our text messages to see how ridiculous we sound, to see how corny our pickup lines were. And it's just things like that, you know what I mean? And another thing that actually helped us in the beginning, and I kind of forgot about it, so I kind of want to bring it back into our relationship, is learning your love language. If you haven't learned your love language, I encourage you to do so. It makes such a huge change, and you're gonna start to really understand yourself better and understand your partner better. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and I'm going to leave the link down below for you to take the quiz and find out what your love language is. And be sure to have your partner take it with you, because there's so much information, so many new things to learn about yourself as well as your partner. So for my husband, his love language is physical touch, and for my love language, it is acts of service. So as you can see, we have very different love languages. For me to love him the way he needs to be loved, it's a lot of physical touch, whether that's being intimate, whether that's, cuddling with him or caressing his head or like rubbing his feet or rubbing his back and things like that. For me, it's acts of service. So if you see me struggling and like, instead of me sweeping the floor, like, Landon drops all the snacks over the floor, you say, babe, don't worry about it. I'll take it. I'll sweep it up. Or if you go ahead and you take the trash out without me asking, it's like really giving me like a helping hand. Like, to me, like, I find that sexy. Like, I find that amazing. As you can see, we have very different love languages. And what happens in a marriage is that you tend to forget about the other person's love language, and you want to love them the way you want to be loved. But let's be real. Everybody wants to be loved, but not everyone is loved the same. You get what I mean? I can't love you the way I want you to love me. That's just not how it works. You have certain needs, you have certain preferences, and sometimes we lose sight of that, and I don't want to meet you halfway. There's some people who are like, I don't want to meet you halfway. I want you to learn how I need to be loved, and that's how you're going to live. But in reality, it's not fair. I think there are certain things that we should compromise on. And if I know that there's something, if I know you have a certain way of communication and what can really get to you and what really means a lot to you, even if it's not my language or my preference, I'm going to go ahead and meet you halfway, and I'm going to do certain things for you that I know that you love and that you need, and vice versa. Learning your love language can definitely be something to, rekindle that spark or take you out of that very stale state of a marriage. And let me just say, a lot of people like to say when you get married, everything is boring. No, it's not about marriage. I think it's anyone who's been in a long-term relationship. After so many years, like, you guys know each other and you get to this like plateau, and like, it's not bad. You just plateau, and it's like, no, it takes a lot of work and a lot of effort to go ahead and make that relationship feel brand new. Of course, it can't feel like that all of the time, but it's really nice once in a while to spark it up and make it feel brand new again, where he can like sweep you off your feet or you get butterflies. And I just think that's something that we all need. Take the time to relearn about your partner, get to know each other again. I think as you go on in life, you get to know yourself more, and you start to discover things about yourself that you never knew, things that you would like, that you didn't know you would like, things that you're into that you didn't know you'd be into. And it's easy to forget about your spouse and really start to learn new things about them too. So just make sure you're making that effort. If you need help, go ahead, do the love language, go back to the things that you guys used to do when you were young or when you first met. Even if it seems silly, guys, trust me, it's totally not silly at all. You'll be really surprised of how closer it brings you and how much fun you'll have just going back to what you guys used to do. So I hope this encourages you to get to, go in your relationship and spark it up a bit, and, get to know each other again. Start dating again. I've actually heard that term before, and I'm like, how can you start dating your partner again? Like, how can I date my husband again? Start dating again. I think dating is one of the most exciting things when you're getting to know someone. So date your husband, date your wife again, and just, make it fun, because of course it's all in the name of love. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.